I know this is kind of late. This is the only time I could actually make this video. So this video is actually for Season 4, Episode 9, Easter eggs and predictions. Beware spoilers if you're not caught up past this point. I won't be talking about the Episode 10 but in another video I will. So they this episode took place directly after the flaming-headed demon actually went into a new dimension with his Uncle Eli, and they're dealing with the Darkhold and stuff like that. But the biggest, like, I will actually talk more about I'll talk about the unconfirmed Easter eggs, because the fans of the show have probably overreached on some of the stuff that they're talking about. But uh, when Jeffrey Mace was talking about the Cloak and Dagger methods, it's mainly for Shield, like spy stuff and everything like that. But people are thinking that it's possible that it was like a wink and a nod to the upcoming Cloak and Dagger TV show. It's possible because they've referenced other shows and other movies before in different ways, so it's possible that they were winking and nodding at the future of the Cloak and Dagger TV show. And when Simmons was actually in battling Nadir's friend or whatever, I don't know exactly he was, but she actually picked up took out a hairpin from her head, and people assume that it was supposed to be a nod to Black Bolt, from the royal family of Inhumans, because of the design of the hairpin actually was zigzags and stuff like that. It looks like what he has on his head, and then as part of his costume is like zigzags. It matches up to the design of it, but I don't think it actually is what it is. So yeah. But we got more about Nadir and her brother in this episode, and I actually like this part of the episode a lot more. Not a lot more than the other part, but a lot of people didn't really like this part of the episode as much as the Ada part. But we find out they've actually had a horrible life, and they were dealing with the Chitauri invasion. The Chitauri invasion actually killed their mother, and then the Inhuman outbreak took Nadir, Ellen's brother, away from her, putting him in a cocoon for 7 months. So I can understand that she has kind of a hatred to aliens in general. Like, she's had a horrible 7 years or 8 years or whatever. So yeah, and that's what I actually like about Agents of Shield. Their villains aren't really villains. They are villains, but they're not villains because they're villains. They have some kind of like they have goodness in them, just that they do horrible things along the way. I don't condone killing people you hate. I just can understand where Nadir is Ellen is coming from. Okay, I can understand you hating the aliens for what has happened in your life, but yeah. Anyway, there's been a lot. They had a lot of winks and nods throughout the episode about past seasons and episodes. And only longtime fans will actually pick up on this. When Daisy and Simmons were talking about her being Simmons being kidnapped, and about how it's not comfortable having a bag over her head and stuff like that. Which that was basically a nod to the pilot of this show, where Skye was actually kidnapped by Warden Coulson by putting a bag over her head. And they also had a wink and a nod to Simmons' times of being kidnapped, of at least 3 times. When once was with Warden Garrett in season 1, and then season 3 was season 3 was in with Gaira, and then was tortured by Ward. And then, of course, the biggest one that they directly referenced was once on this, not on this planet, was with kidnapped by Mavis and the Monolith. So it's funny that they've actually referenced stuff like that. And there also actually was one other unconfirmed one, because people are just reaching at again was when Max says roll credits. I just assumed that it meant roll credits as like that's the end of the movie, because this whole theme of robots attacking the world in every 80s movies and stuff like that, he was referencing that. But someone just assumed, or some people just assumed, that they were referencing the YouTube channel CinemaSins, because they usually say roll credits, but I'm pretty sure roll credits has been around a lot longer than that channel, so it's possible that they were referencing that as well, but who knows. But yeah, anyway, they were referencing a lot of movies. They got Maximum Overdrive, which is what it was. Is just a movie that has vehicles attacking people, pretty much. Then you have Chopping Mall, exactly what they referenced. And then Small Wonders, actually a TV show about a robot that's a little girl, and it's basically this guy created a robot daughter. Yeah, and there's actually one reference I'm not going to talk about it until next episode, like next video. But yeah, they also kind of winked a nod to Ada's comic book counterpartner. In the comics, as far as I know, she has never had a robot, like an actual robot body, but she's only been a voice on like a computer screen. And when Ada calls the shield base, you see her like voice on the computer and everything like that. So I'm assuming that's like a wink and a nod to them, but it's not. It's possible that it's not really. And they also reference Terminator Salvation, which I can understand. Not everyone liked that movie, so it's funny that even in the MCU, Terminator Salvation is actually not one of their like best movies from the Terminator franchise. And they also referenced Glenn Talbot and the UN and stuff like that, which will be connected back into the next video as well. But one of the funniest ones was actually a wink and a nod to Peggy Carter. Sadly, the show Agent Carter was canceled. But when Simmons went undercover, she actually was the guy was saying, "Are you the replacement for Margaret?" Which Peggy's real name is actually Margaret. So, and she did go undercover a lot, and had different voices and disguises, stuff like that and when she and had glasses, stuff like that. So technically, yes, what Simmons was doing, going undercover, wearing glasses, and doing a different voice. And it's funny because for the past 2 years, Peggy Carter's show was actually during this time, and since that was canceled, they had to bring back Agents of Shield and put it back to this time time slot, which so technically, yes, Agents of Shield and Simmons were Peggy Carter's replacements. So yeah. And some details I actually liked were when Fitz was dealing with trying to fix the system, their computer system and everything like that. And when they actually fixed it up, the old computers had the old Shield logo, and when you looked at the new computers, that it had the new Shield logo. So it's nice that they had that little detail there. And yeah, that's about it for Easter eggs, I guess. Oh yeah, and also they Carl Burrows' Smithers, who is from Simpsons and stuff like that. So nothing really big there. The only prediction I can actually do, because I actually had one for the Jeffrey Mason, all that kind of stuff with the Patriot, was that I'm assuming that like it's been known that Agents of Shield has like influences from the X-Men comics, which I don't really like the X-Men, so but for some reason I like what they're doing on Agents of Shield. I don't understand that. But I've never actually like read the comics. I've only known them from the actual movies, but I just don't like those characters from the movies. So, but I found out that there was a TV like a short TV series called the Astonishing X-Men, and in that short series they were dealing with like the Inhuman cure or the X-Men cure, which they dealt with last season, and a doctor called Dr. Kavita Rao, I'm pretty sure that's how to pronounce it, but she was dealing with a secret that she was had a partner in this that was an alien, all that kind of stuff, and this alien wanted to kill the X-Men. So I'm assuming that it's possible that the superior that's running this part of the Watchdogs is a Kree, because we know the Kree do not like the Inhumans. So and we know that the Kree can disguise themselves to look like human. So it's possible that this Senator Nadir, that's the replacement for Kavita, would actually not know that she's working for an alien that she would hate. So that's possible. And the other one is actually was called VGs Powers. We don't really know much about it other than he goes back into his cocoon, which I'm assuming, since it's a more Simmons related storyline, and we know that Simmons loves Doctor Who, and there was foreshadowing back in season 1 for stuff that came back in season 2, that it's a big part of her character's Doctor Who. So I would love to see VG's powers be that whenever he goes back into his cocoon, he would regenerate and get a new power, kind of like how Doctor Who regenerates and becomes a new actor, and how it's like he's different and everything like that. So comment down below what you thought of this episode, and if I missed any Easter eggs and predictions, and if you have predictions for the upcoming episode. See ya.